tell us first about the details of this announcement.
Well, of course, that controversial decree has been annulled, but the decisions taken under it have not. So the former Prosecutor General is still sacked, and the retrials for the former regime officials are still on track. What it does do is take away that very controversial article or the provision in that decree that essentially put Mohamed Morsi above the law, meant that he wasn't subject to any kind of judicial oversight. This is really what started this war between the presidency and the judiciary. It has now been annulled, and that, of course, is a major development. It was also announced that in the event of a no vote, if the constitution does not go through in the referendum, a new body to draft a new constitution will be elected. Now, it's not clear exactly how it will be elected. We don't have those kind of details. But again, the path for what if this constitution isn't passed for the first time has been set forth. Now, the big question now, of course, is how the opposition will respond. One of their main demands was that the constitutional referendum that is due in exactly 1 week's time be postponed, and it was made very clear at this press conference that that's not going to happen. The referendum will take place in 1 week's time. The idea or the reasoning behind it is that legally the president has to call a referendum in 2 weeks from when he receives the draft constitution, and that means it has to happen next week.
So the referendum will take place next week. As of yet, it's still planned to take place next week. These announcements, Sherine, were made after the talks on Saturday, which the main opposition parties didn't attend, of course.
Exactly. The key opposition figures like Mohammed al-Baradei, Hamdeen Sabahi, Amro Musa, they boycotted the talks, and they boycotted it not just because they said that this decree has to be annulled, which it has been now, but also because they said that there's no point in going to the negotiating table and talking about amending this constitution if at the end of the day we have 1 week with which to actually amend it before it goes to a referendum. It's simply not enough time. It means that the president isn't actually serious about this idea of amending the constitution via consensus, and that, I think, will be the sticking point going forward, because this hasn't just become about the decree in the past few weeks. This is a political crisis. As a result, really, at the heart of it is the constitution. So I think that's what the opposition is going to be saying. Now, it's a clever move by the president for two main reasons. One, because it puts the ball really in the court of the opposition and allows the president to go, well, I've met you halfway here. Secondly, of course, because it will go a long way to placate the judiciary, who have been a problem in all of this, because they are the ones that have to supervise a referendum, and they have said that they're going to go on strike. They haven't reacted yet, but I would think, or I would guess really, that because he's rescinded this controversial decree, it may go a long way to allowing for these judges to actually say they're not going to go on strike, and they will supervise this referendum.
Okay, Sherine, thank you so very much for talking to us. Sherine Tadros live.